Hey everybody, I'm back for video 21 of 365, my journey of making a video every day for a year, and it's so fun. So I hope everybody does this, and I really think you should, especially if you're over 40 and you're terrified of making a video. Just do it today and tell me about it in the comments when you do it. So today I want to talk about emotional addiction and how we're all emotionally addicted to something. I'm a therapist and I love helping people break their emotional addictions. I love helping people change their mindsets about themselves and change their self-image, their self-concept. Self-concept is number one. We have to have a stellar self-concept in order to manifest the life that we really want. So I always tell everyone to start with self, because when we try to look outside ourselves to feel better, it never works. It might work for, a small amount of time, but then the manifestation always goes away if our self-concept is not in alignment with what we manifested. So, and I'll get into that a little later, but I really wanted to talk about prioritizing yourself and what that looks like and why we don't do it. I think that we're programmed at a young age, depending on what happened to us, to please others, which means we have to abandon ourselves when we please somebody else a lot of the time. So I know I did that. I was abused as a child. I was sexually abused, actually, and I was neglected quite a bit emotionally. And so that really took a toll on me, and I didn't realize it until later years that it had affected me as much as it did. And it really affected my self-worth and my self-concept. And I truly didn't know about self-concept until about probably, 5 or 10 years ago. Before that, it was just talking about self-esteem. But I didn't realize that your self-concept is tied into what you're manifesting in your life. I had no idea about that. I knew about manifestation, but I didn't realize self-concept is at the core of, manifesting everything that you want and keeping it forever. So when we're abused or neglected or, go through life adversities, especially in childhood, it really shapes our brains to become addicted to emotion. And so whenever something happens, it creates a chemical reaction in the brain, and then our body just kind of goes along with that. And it never stops until we get some help for it, or we realize that, oh my gosh, I've been addicted to this emotion. I've been feeling this way my whole life, and then we think we're crazy, or we think something's wrong with us, or we're broken. And I want to tell you, you're not broken or crazy whatsoever. You're just emotionally addicted. And that's really all that it is. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this a lot, how we're just addicted to a familiar feeling. And so whatever is familiar, the brain's going to just keep doing that, until you feed it something else. So that's what I want to talk about and teach to everyone that will listen. And please pass on this information to everybody you know, because I think this is what creates millions of dollars in your bank account. I think this is what creates the best relationships you've ever had in your life. I think it's what creates the career that you've always wanted or the business you've always wanted. It has helped me create so many things that I can't even tell you. I've manifested so many things, and someday I'll share more stories. But I know yesterday I shared the story of, imagining in the shower. I was imagining talking to the band Korn before we went and saw them. This was back in 2016. And I just had a conversation in the shower with the band. And then hours later, I was having the same conversation with the band. So, and I thought about that. I didn't really explain it enough, but I felt it and I got excited about it, and then I let it go. I didn't have any doubt about it. I just literally thought about it, and then I let it go. And that's what we have to do with manifesting. We just think about it, let it go, but feel it. Really feel that it's done. Because whether you believe it or not, this is big. When you want something and you have a desire for something, it's already manifested. It's there. It's in front of you. You just can't see it. Isn't that crazy to think about? It's already done. Creation is done. You just have to align with it. Well, how do you align with it? And most people say, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Can't be created because I can't see it. Well, that's what faith is. It's having faith that there's things that are around you that you can't see. And that's a whole other subject because there's billions of, well, infinite parallel realities really that are around us, and we can't see them, but they're there. And that's just, simple physics. If you want to study some physics and quantum physics, go right ahead. It's so cool to learn about. But there's so much sensory information out there that we can't see. And there's a reason for that, because our brains would probably implode or explode. I don't know which one, but they would cease to exist. Let's put it that way. So we can only perceive what we are. So keep that in mind. You can only perceive what you are being. So if you're being a certain way and you identify with a certain identity, so if you say, I'm a people pleaser, or I have a low self-esteem, or something like that, you're viewing the world from that lens, and that is all you will see. People will show up for you to create like an experience where you're going to have to please them. Like, people will show up how you're showing up for you, because your world revolves around what you're thinking, and it just manifests that way. But when you change yourself internally, then the whole external world changes and people will treat you differently. And if you try it for long enough, you'll notice that it really works. It's really weird. A lot of people don't believe that people treat us the way that we're treating ourselves. They just don't believe it. They want to blame the other person for being a jerk or whatever the case is. But that person is showing you something. They're showing you information about yourself. And it's either your expectation of that person or it's your dominant thoughts about yourself. And so they will show up how you expect them to show up, which is really interesting. And if you just think about that and apply that to your relationship that you're in right now, that you're having trouble with, I've done this many times. I have manifested in and out a relationship, in and out many times. And it's so interesting how each time I would go inside myself and I would change something, I would grow, I would learn and grow, and I would always pull it back to me. Not that anything is wrong with you or me. There's nothing wrong here. No one's broken. It's just, what kind of life do we want to have? Because if you want a life that you love, you have to change the way you're thinking. That is really, truly all it is. Because when you change your identity at its core, you will think and believe and behave. All your actions will align with the identity that you're creating. So again, if you're a people pleaser, your identity is such of a people pleaser. So all of your actions and thoughts and behaviors and beliefs and everything will reflect the people pleaser to most of the people that you're around. And people will respond to that. They will feel that energy coming off of you, and they will have no choice but to act out the script that you gave them and make you be the people pleaser to them. Isn't that interesting? It's so crazy. So you have to prioritize yourself, and you have to prioritize, the thoughts you're thinking. We are so picky about everything but our thoughts. Literally, you're picky about the car you drive, where you live, if you can be, of course. If you have that choice. You're picky about what you eat, what you drink, when you go to sleep, when you go to the bathroom, whatever. You're picky about everything, what you wear, but you're not picky about what you're thinking. And so really think about, what am I feeding my mind on a daily basis? And I always recommend to start with you, because starting with you, I feel, is the number one thing to do. And that's where the root cause is of every problem or every obstacle or every challenge, whatever word we want to say. I call them obstacles because that's what they are. They're just there to show us something. We're going to learn from it and we're going to move through it. And we're not going to ignore it. We're going to learn from it. What is this showing me about me? Your world is a mirror. It's showing you what you're thinking and feeling. So be very aware of that. Start to become aware of that. There's so many techniques that I could give you, but I really, of course, go back to inner conversations. I think that's a really good one. What are you telling yourself on a daily basis? Because we're having these conversations every day with ourselves. We don't even realize we're doing it. And those can show up like, oh, great, there it is again. I've got to do this again. Or, oh, great, another day. I've got to go to work. I mean, that's an inner conversation that you're having with yourself. And you have to change those. You literally have to change them to the opposite. But a lot of times that's hard for people. So I say, okay, find the next best thought that you can find from there. Something at least a little bit better, such as, well, maybe I could start to think that I could believe the opposite. That might help you instead of saying the opposite. But whatever it is that you're thinking or saying, that is an affirmation, whether it's good or bad. You're saying affirmations all day. So you might as well say good affirmations about yourself. And I promise you, even if you don't believe them, after a while, your brain will be programmed and you'll be able to actually feel that way. I've done it myself, and I have experienced every issue you can possibly think of with self-worth throughout my whole life. I'm on YouTube, freaking YouTube, talking to strangers, and every day I'm doing it. I got a zit sticker on my forehead. And my hair's greasy every few days, you'll notice. It's like, oh, it's hair washing day. Like, I don't care because I want to get my message out there, and I want to create a good speaking voice, which I'm still working on. And I want to be able to learn how to focus more on my message. But the biggest thing is I want to help people. And I want to help people. I want to help the masses versus just the one-on-one that I love doing. I love doing one-on-one so much. But I want people to know that, you've got to change your identity. Ain't no way I'd be on here if I hadn't changed my identity. I promise you. Everybody that knows me has been trying to, tell me, hey, get on there, do this. You're meant for this. And years went by. I mean, almost a decade went by of people telling me that. So especially if you're over 40, there's something about that age that is so special. So get on there and do something, show the world what you know, because you can if I can, I promise you. And again, I changed my identity to this person that is not scared anymore. I set up a little stand store last night, and I'm offering one-on-ones now. And I'm going to start an email list, and I'm going to create some, ebooks and things like that I'll give away for free. And then I'll create some digital products that I'll sell and some courses and, finally doing those things that I've been wanting to do, but I was scared to do, especially this, what I'm doing right now. This was what I was terrified of. If this is what I was terrified of, and I got over that, you can too. You definitely can. This is not hard. It's actually very fun, and it's fun to see how many views you get. I have, I think 1,400 views so far in a little under 3 weeks. So that's pretty cool. And that's so fun to see that go up every day. I check it all the time just for fun. Like, it doesn't bother me if nothing's changed, but I get a lot of views because of my meditations I'm posting too. So there's an idea for you, post something that's going to get more views other than maybe just talking. The meditations help. So, and then they're helping people too. That's why I love the meditations, because I meditate every day. And so I was like, well, I want to make my own, and it's really helped the channel kind of grow a little bit. So I want you guys to do what's best for you and know that you're worthy and you're worth doing what you really want to do in your life and create the most beautiful life you've ever thought of or ever dreamed of. And just go inside your mind and do an audit. What am I telling myself every day? What am I thinking about? And know that you can do anything you want to do and be anything you want to be. So just have fun with it and believe in yourself. I believe in you because I believe in me. We are all one. We are one energy. We are one. So if I judge you, then I'm judging myself. You have to remember that too. If you're judging somebody, you can't feel good when you're doing that. That's why I always say, go back to self. It's not about judging yourself, but it's about auditing yourself. Like, what am I thinking on a daily basis that is bringing me down into the dumps, or making me anxious, or making me panicky, or making me miserable? Because we've never been so miserable in this life, and we have all the resources in the world to make us feel better. And the one that we're not doing is using our minds to learn how to focus properly. So that's what I'm going to keep teaching you to do. I'm going to pound this into our heads. I'm going to craft my message a little bit more so I don't ramble and go off. So this is giving me practice, and I thank you guys for listening so much because it really helps me, and I hope it helps you too. And just be yourself when you get on camera. That's what I'm doing. I'm myself. You know, this is me. And you're not going to get anything different if you're on a one-on-one with me. I'm going to be just like this. So, and I'd love to do a one-on-one with you if you're ever interested. So, and it would be a really big deep dive into you. And so get ready for that if you're brave enough, because it's all about you. Your world is you. Everyone is you. I'll leave you with that. Keep that in mind. Everyone is me. If everyone is me, what are they showing me? And with that, I will let you go, and I'll be back tomorrow. Bye.